Hello, I'm Keith Ford and welcome to this edition of From the Vault, and today I'm here with Steve Ostrom and we are here at Rock Island Auction Company, and today I am going to be going over this wonderful array of German submachine guns with the start of right at the end of World War I with the Bergmann MP-18 all the way down here to the S-3008, which was at the end of World War II. So let's get started on this. Towards the end of World War I, the Germans were looking at submachine guns, the 9mm, and in particular Hugo Schmeisser come up with this design right here, which is the MP-18, produced by the Theodor Bergmann Company in Schul, Germany. And this right here, if I can get it out, is an open bolt in safe position. Locked right there. And what is unique about this right here is, you notice the angle of the mag well right here. Well, there's a 32 round snail drum magazine that fits into the side right here. And for raiding parties running through trenches and stuff, this was a pretty awesome gun, but it just came in too late in the war. Well, after the war ended and things didn't go so well for Germany, production kind of almost halted, but in secret they kept these going, and there was an MP-18-2 and then an MP-28, which we don't have here, which was basically a simplified version of this. Now in 1934, somewhere around that time period, Louis Stang, forgive me if I pronounced that incorrect, was working for Steyr and Solothurn and come up with this wonderful design right here. Now on this one right here, this is the MP-34 or S1-100, and these had a selector over here on the left hand side, which was full or semi-automatic. It also fired from an open bolt. And this is probably one of the finest machined and manufactured submachine guns ever. A unique feature of this gun right here was a magazine loader right here. Put the magazine in from the bottom, put your strip clip in here, and just shove the rounds into it. Push that little catch release right there, pull the magazine out and put it in there. Rate of fire on this was about 500 rounds a minute. It's an extremely controllable gun. Very nice, weighs about 9 pounds. Wonderful. This is pretty much the Rolls Royce of the submachine gun world. Now we have a very unique piece right here, which is an Irma EMP, Irma Machine Pistola. This was designed by Heinrich Vollmer. Originally, Vollmer did this gun without a barrel shroud right here and no safety right here, but after the money kind of ran out, Irma took over and put this into production. A lot of these were used by police forces in the Nazi regime and as well as the SS. This right here has a safety on it, which keeps the bolt from bouncing, which is with the open bolt system. It's pretty dangerous if you don't have the safety there blocking that bolt, because what can happen is this can bounce back and then actually fire that cartridge. So that safety right there stopped that. Another unique feature about this is the vertical grip right here, which makes this really handy whenever you're shooting. Now these were also produced in Spain during the Spanish Civil War by the La Corona arsenal and were used on both sides. The Spanish Republicans, which were the communist-backed forces, they used these in 9mm, and then the Loyalists, which were Franco's forces, used them in 9mm Bergmann. And actually the forces which were defeated by Franco's forces, whenever they left the country headed into France, the French captured these and actually put them into service, but the trouble is they were missing a lot of the magazines and stuff, so not a lot of them made it in. But now one thing about this gun right here is this little lever here at the back. Now if you're not careful with this, you can hit this and this will actually break the action loose and this will rotate. So that's kind of a bad design right here for a combat weapon, but overall it's a pretty interesting piece. Now this one right here is probably the de facto submachine gun of the Wehrmacht. Originally come out as the MP-38, which was a machined tube, all machine stuff. This right here is the MP-40, all stamped steel, This was the gun that if you weren't packing a K98, you were packing this right here. This was another Vollmer design. Vollmer designed this, and he also designed the MP38, MP40. Went in, did some changes, and then to break this gun down, move this little knob right here, twist it, and it comes off. This was the submachine gun of the Second World War for the German forces. This bar right here would come down, and if you were in a truck or something like that or on a wall, this would keep the gun from sliding back and dropping down over. Actually, it was maybe thought to be a good idea, but wasn't used very often.
And now for the prettiest one.
Yes. Now, as the war was going very bad for Germany towards the end, Allied bombing during the day and night continually of all the armaments factories and stuff, the sources were running low. They were trying to get guns out and just couldn't do it. And then they basically copied the British Sting gun. This right here is a S3008. They took pretty much a Sten Mark III and turned the magazine vertical, whereas on a Sten it was horizontal. This is cheap. It's probably not what I would want to go into service with, but for home guard and trying to do the folks back home for something to have, this was working, but it's pretty bad.
Not quite a last ditch, but close.
Yeah, this is pretty much a last ditch gun. And you can see the progression of the German submachine guns from the end of World War I, all machined, beautiful pieces. And then this is what they end up with, just a modified copy of the Sting gun. So there you have it, just a basic primer of the German submachine guns. What we don't have here is the MP28, the MP38, and the MP41, but we'll be doing those later on down the line. And here before long, we'll be doing an actual video on each one of these guns. So we'll break them down, see how they shoot, and that way we'll get in depth with each one of these guns. But overall, I mean, this is a pretty amazing array of submachine guns right here from Germany, from the end of the First World War to the end of the Second World War. And they're all right here at the Rock Island Auction House. And I'd like to thank everybody here at Rock Island for letting us come in and look at these wonderful guns. And my man Steve right here.
This has been great, although I've understood the least of all these guns. I recognize this one, and that's about it.
Yep, from Eagle's Dare.
Yep.
Eagle's Dare, yeah, a bunch of the World
Clint
War II
Eastwood
movies.
had one of these.
Yep.
And Call of Duty, you see this all the time,
all
don't you?
the Call of Duties and stuff, the video games and everything. But yep, hope you enjoyed it. And if you have a gun that you'd like to see featured on From the Vault, just drop us a line. Thanks again to Rock Island for letting us come in and look at all their guns and have them here on From the Vault. And we'll catch you again next time whenever we bring another gun from the vault.